Observation, Documentation, and Practice tutorial. Welcome to this tutorial on best practices in the observation and documentation of children's learning and development. This presentation will move from slide to slide, stopping now and then to give you time to review information or download resources. To restart the presentation or to pause it at any time, use the navigation bar at the bottom of the screen. The DRDP 2015 is an observation-based assessment instrument. In order to rate measures on the DRDP 2015, teachers observe children and collect documentation of growth and development over time during the course of the daily routine. Periodically, teachers reflect on what the collected evidence tells about each child and then determines a child's level of mastery on the DRDP 2015 measures. Get ready! You will need to download 3 handouts to be prepared for observing: the Watch Me Grow observation worksheet, background and transcript of the video, and the DRDP 2015 assessment instrument, if you don't already have a copy. Click each document to open. Your knowledge of the DRDP 2015 instrument, what is included, and how the sequences of development are described, should guide your observations. Read and become familiar with all the domains and measures in the DRDP 2015 instrument. Think of brainstorming strategies for using the DRDP 2015 instrument with other teachers and administrators at your school. If children come from homes where languages other than English are spoken, and you do not speak the child's language, plan for who will contribute information and how the child's responses will be documented and/or translated. Observation notes. Observe children in natural, routine daily activities. Record observations with enough details to reconstruct the child or children's behavior, skills, and knowledge. Note the date, child or children's names, time, and context on observation notes. Observation notes should serve as a snapshot for anyone who will be reading them. Types of evidence. At the heart of the DRDP 2015 assessment is the collection of evidence to document children's knowledge and development. The most common forms of evidence you will be collecting are descriptive observation notes, photo, video, and audio documentation, work samples, and checklists. Keep the DRDP 2015 domains and measures in mind when collecting evidence. Your goal is to have enough evidence collected so that when it is time to make ratings, you have a solid picture of each child's development across the domains and measures of the DRDP 2015 PS. It may be helpful to take photos or videos to provide evidence of the child's skills, knowledge, and behaviors. Audio tapes or digital recorders can capture language and conversation samples quickly and efficiently. Most cell phones have a camera and voice recorder, and both audio and photos can be sent through email or downloaded to your computer to make a CD. Whatever your evidence, make sure to include a descriptive anecdotal note that supplements and clarifies the evidence. Include the name of the child, the date and time of the evidence, the setting in which the evidence occurred, and other important details. Your photo, video, or audio, and the anecdotal note should reflect the measures for which it may be evidence. Work samples. With a detailed anecdotal note, there are items and activities already being done or used in the classroom that could become a piece of evidence for completing the DRDP 2015. Original work samples can be copied and added to your evidence collection of a child's knowledge and skills. Make sure to include a date on each work sample, since you'll be looking at growth over time when reviewing documentation at rating time. Some skills lend themselves to checklists as a method of recording observations. Checklists can be helpful tools to record how often children demonstrate behaviors, knowledge, or skills. For example, checking off each time a child says, "My name starts with M," or points to the letter M at the beginning of his name. However, if the child says, "My name starts with M and so does Michael's, he is my friend, his hair is brown like mine," you may want to write a note, since that observation could address other measures as well. Be prepared. Regardless of the observation method chosen, various tools must be readily available to record your observations. Before you move on to the next section, it may be helpful to download the 4-page toolkit handout using the Resources tab at the top of this presentation. Observe during the program day. All of the children's indoor and outdoor activities should provide observations useful for completing the DRDP 2015 instrument. Collect documentation while children are playing, interacting with others, during lessons, and during small or large group activities. Observe children over time and in as many different settings as possible: in the classroom, on the playground, during free play, during instruction time, and with families at drop-off and pick-up time. Consider the consistency of the child's behavior and how particular observations fit within the child's overall conduct. Several children, several measures. Keep the DRDP 2015 PS domains and measures in mind when observing and recording observations. You may gather information on more than one child in the same observation. For example, in this scene, 6 children are interacting and sharing space and supplies. An observation can provide evidence for several measures when you include relevant details and keep your notes objective. Add even more to your notes by capturing children's ideas and language. For example, in this scene you might ask one or more of the children to tell you about the work they are constructing. Observe objectively, record factually. Focus on observing and recording what the child does, not what you think the child is doing, or what you think the child can do. One hint is to only record what you can see or hear. Avoid using labels or qualitative descriptors such as shy or scared. Let's practice. Get ready to watch a video. As you watch the video, write descriptive observation notes about what you see and hear the girls do. You'll record on the top section of the Watch Me Grow handout. Here we go. Click the play button in the gray video control bar at the bottom of the screen. Check observation notes. Before moving on, review your observation notes. Delete anything that you didn't see or hear. When your review is complete, you are ready to move on. Review notes and check off the measures that are addressed by your observations. It is important to look at the definitions and descriptors on the measure pages of the DRDP 2015 instrument to ensure you have interpreted an accurate meaning of the measure as it is intended. When finished, select the worksheet to see a few of the measures that were addressed in the video observation. Collect documentation daily. When observations are gathered daily, children become accustomed to being observed and seeing you document their learning. Children may also share what they think is important for you to document. Planning for observation. When planning curriculum, think about what measures you might observe during the activities. Decide who would be available during each of those activities to best capture the observations. For example, when you're leading an activity, you may ask the assistant teacher to observe children's responses and interactions. Documentation in the moment. Be ready for unexpected observations and photo opportunities. Brief, unplanned moments can be important while teaching in small groups, during conversations, interactions, and routines, and when children are involved in activities and play.
In addition to documenting observations of the child's development, plan to seek input from others who have ongoing contact with and know the child well, such as teaching assistants, family members, and special education providers. Their observations and insights are important sources of information about the child's typical day-to-day behaviors.
What do we do with all this documentation?
Many teachers choose to set up a portfolio storage system of some sort. Portfolio is a generic phrase for any work samples, assessments, and so on that refer to evaluating students' learning. If you are already using a documentation system in the classroom now, think of how it might be modified to accommodate additional documentation, such as observation notes, annotated photos, and work samples. It may take some trial and error before you find the system that works best for you.
The DRDP 2015 Portfolio application is another way to collect and organize documentation electronically. This app is provided for free by the California Department of Education. There are also commercially available options. The app allows teachers to upload pictures, videos, and/or voice recordings and assign the documentation to specific measures. This information can then be shared with other teachers. It is a great way to collaborate with a special education provider. For more information, go to www.desiredresults.us. Online video observation is a great way to practice your observation skills. Visit the Practice Videos link on the DRDP 2015 website resource page for practice observation video clips. For more information, please visit the Desired Results website or call toll-free at 800-770-6339, Maine 805-465-4400, fax 805-465-4444, or email us at drdptech@wested.org.